your home constantly feeling chaotic, no matter how often you clean? Do stacks of magazines, CDs, or random knickknacks seem to multiply overnight, leaving you stressed and overwhelmed? You're not alone. Many of us struggle with clutter that quietly takes over our living spaces, making even simple daily routines feel exhausting. In this video, I'll share practical tips on the specific items you should declutter and organize to keep your home clean, airy, and stress-free. From media collections and decorative pieces to old hobbies, beauty products, toys, and kitchen gadgets, I'll walk you through step by step how to decide what to keep, donate, or recycle. I've personally applied all these methods in my own home, and the results have been incredible. Spaces feel lighter, cleaning takes less time, and my mind feels peaceful knowing everything has its place. Decluttering isn't just about tidiness, it's about creating a home that supports your happiness and daily life. So stick around and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. By following along, you'll discover even more smart decluttering tips and organizational hacks that make maintaining a beautiful, functional home easier than ever. One of the things I've learned over the years is that our homes can quickly become cluttered with items we no longer use. And for me, magazines, CDs, DVDs, and vinyl records are perfect examples. I used to keep stacks of old magazines thinking I might read them one day or that they could inspire me somehow. But in reality, most of them just sat in a corner collecting dust. Donating or recycling these magazines not only clears space, it also feels good to know someone else might enjoy them. CDs, DVDs, and vinyl records are a little trickier because they often carry sentimental value. I used to have a collection of vinyl that I bought impulsively thinking I would listen to every single one. Truth be told, I hadn't touched most of them in years. Letting go of the ones I never played was surprisingly liberating. I decided to keep only a few that really sparked joy or reminded me of special moments and donated or gifted the rest. It's common to hold on to these items because of nostalgia or a just-in-case mentality, but I've realized that keeping things we rarely use only takes up space and adds mental clutter. By consciously letting go of old magazines, CDs, DVDs, and vinyl, I've managed to create a more open, airy living space. It feels lighter, cleaner, and far more inviting, making room for things that truly matter in my daily life. If you've ever wondered how to tackle clutter without feeling anxious or guilty, be sure not to miss my next video where I'll walk you through practical items you can start clearing out today to instantly make your home feel lighter and more organized. It's full of tips you'll definitely find useful and inspiring. Once we've tackled our media collections, it's time to turn our attention to items that add personality to our home, like photos and decorations. Letting go of what no longer serves us can be just as freeing as clearing old magazines and CDs. I've realized that our homes often accumulate items that look beautiful but don't really serve a purpose. And for me, photo frames and decorative vases are a perfect example. I used to have a wall full of frames thinking that more would make my space look cozy and personal. But in reality, it felt crowded and overwhelming. I decided to keep only the photos that truly mattered to me, special memories with family and close friends, and let go of the rest. The frames I no longer needed, I either donated or sold, and it was surprisingly liberating. The same goes for vases and other decorative items. I used to collect them because they were pretty or on sale, but most of them just gathered dust. I started keeping only 1 or 2 pieces that I genuinely loved and used occasionally for flowers or styling a corner. The rest I gave away to friends or sold online. It made such a difference. My shelves and tables suddenly felt lighter, and the overall space became more calming and inviting. I've learned that decorating with intention is key. Removing items that don't serve a purpose or match your space not only frees up physical room, but also clears mental clutter. A few meaningful pieces can create a warm, welcoming atmosphere without overwhelming your home. Letting go of the excess is not just about tidiness, it's about creating a space that feels peaceful and functional every day. Now that our spaces feel lighter visually, let's move on to scents and ambiance. Candles and essential oils are wonderful, but over time they can quietly clutter our home if we're not intentional. Over the years, I've realized that scented candles and essential oils can bring so much warmth and coziness to a home, but only when used thoughtfully. I used to have shelves full of old scented candles, thinking each one might come in handy someday. In reality, many of them were either dried out, or I simply forgot I had them taking up precious space. Now I make it a rule to either throw away old candles or repurpose their jars for small items like jewelry buttons or office supplies. Essential oils and incense are another area where it's easy to over-collect. I used to have a drawer overflowing with different scents, most of which I rarely used. Over time, I learned to keep only one or two of my absolute favorite aromas, the ones that make me feel relaxed or energized, and give away the rest to friends or family. This simple practice not only clears clutter, but also prevents the house from feeling heavy or overloaded with conflicting smells. By being intentional about the fragrances we keep, our home feels lighter, calmer, and more inviting, allowing the scents we truly love to shine without overwhelming our senses. Speaking of bringing life into a home, plants add beauty and calm, but they also need attention. Let's explore how to manage greenery without letting it create clutter or stress. Plants have a special way of bringing life and calm into a home, but over time I've learned that they can also become sources of clutter if we aren't careful. Dead or dying plants are the first to go. They just take up space and can make a room feel neglected. I usually try to repot any struggling plants if they still have a chance to thrive, or I compost the ones beyond saving. It's a small effort that keeps my space feeling fresh and alive. For plants that are healthy, but I simply can't care for anymore, I've found giving them to friends or relocating them outdoors works wonders. There's something satisfying about knowing that a plant you can't tend to anymore will continue to flourish in a home or garden where it's appreciated. Over the years, I've also noticed that keeping too many plants indoors without proper care can make a space feel cluttered rather than cozy. By carefully choosing which plants to keep, repot, or gift, I've created a home that feels open, airy, and vibrant rather than crowded. For me, it's not just about tidiness, it's about cultivating an environment that reflects the care and attention I put into my life. Letting go of plants that no longer serve that purpose is liberating, and it makes the ones I truly love shine even more. Just like plants, hobbies, and games can enrich our lives, but when they pile up unused, they take away more than they give. Next, let's see how to let go of old crafts, board games, and photos that no longer spark joy. Photos and memories hold a special place in our hearts, but not every snapshot deserves a permanent spot in our home. Over the years, I've found that blurry or unimportant photos only collect dust and add visual clutter. Shredding or discarding them can feel surprisingly freeing. It's like making room for the memories that truly matter. The key is to keep the photos that spark joy or represent meaningful moments and let go of the rest without guilt. Board games are another category that often sneaks up on us. Many of us hold on to incomplete sets or games we no longer play, thinking someone might want these someday, or I'll play them eventually. In reality, they usually sit untouched. Donating or recycling these games not only clears space, but also gives someone else the chance to enjoy them. I've even found that a smaller collection of well-loved games makes family game nights feel more intentional and less overwhelming. Lastly, craft supplies and old hobby materials are easy to hoard. I used to keep dozens of notebooks, paintbrushes, or yarns, convincing myself I'd start a project soon. But if I haven't used them in 6 to 12 months, it's a clear sign they're not serving me. Donating these items to local schools or community centers can give them a second life while freeing up my shelves. Letting go of unused hobbies and supplies doesn't mean losing creativity. It's about making space for activities that actually bring joy and energy into my daily life. Now that we've cleared surfaces of games and crafts, let's turn our focus to shelves and storage. Organizing books, notebooks, and textbooks can make daily life feel so much lighter. I used to have dozens of extra notebooks from conferences, work, or free promotions all sitting on a shelf collecting dust. Donating the ones I don't need feels liberating, and for the ones I do keep, I've started repurposing them as quick journals or notes for daily tasks. It's amazing how a small notebook, when actually used, can feel so purposeful. Books are another tricky category. I used to hold on to every book I ever bought, hoping I'd revisit them someday. But in reality, most of these books never see the light of day. I've learned to keep only the ones that truly inspire or resonate with me, and donate the rest so they can inspire someone else. It's a simple way to create a lighter, more organized space while passing on joy. College textbooks are perhaps the hardest to part with because we often feel obligated to keep them just in case. But with so many online learning platforms available now, these heavy, outdated textbooks are often unnecessary. Donating or recycling them clears up precious space and helps others who may need them. Letting go of these items isn't just about tidying a shelf. It's about creating room for knowledge and tools that are actually relevant to your life today. Once the shelves are sorted, it's time to tackle paperwork. Old documents, receipts, and manuals can quietly take over drawers if we're not intentional. I realized how quickly old paperwork can pile up, and it's amazing how much unnecessary clutter we accumulate just by keeping things in case we need them. Warranties and instruction manuals are a prime example. These days, most of this information is available online, so holding on to every paper copy is rarely necessary. I recycle the ones I no longer need, which instantly frees up drawer and shelf space. Old credit cards and checkbooks can also become a hidden source of clutter. I've learned to shred and discard expired or unused cards and old checkbooks regularly. Not only does this help keep my home organized, but it also reduces the risk of sensitive information falling into the wrong hands. Receipts are another category that tends to accumulate endlessly. I keep a small system if I don't anticipate needing to return an item or claim a refund. I shred the receipt. To make the process easier, I created a dedicated box for old papers and receipts that are ready to be recycled or shredded. Every month I go through it, which keeps the clutter under control and ensures that my living space stays neat, airy, and stress-free. Creating routines for handling these small but accumulative items makes a big difference. It's not just about having less stuff, it's about feeling lighter, more intentional, and at peace in the spaces I live. Speaking of items that quietly pile up, electronics and cords are a sneaky source of clutter. Let's see how to tame the tangled mess of chargers, earphones, and accessories. I've noticed how quickly electronics and their accessories can take over our living space. Extra earphones, for instance, seem harmless at first, but I found myself buried under a tangle of wires and pairs I never used. Now I gather all the earphones I no longer need and either give them away to friends or recycle them responsibly. It feels surprisingly satisfying to let go of these small but accumulating items. Miscellaneous chargers and cords are another sneaky source of clutter. I used to throw them into drawers or boxes thinking I might need this someday, only to forget about them entirely. Today I take a more intentional approach. I gather all the cords, identify which ones are truly useful, and discard or recycle the rest. This practice not only frees up physical space, but also saves mental energy because I no longer have to untangle or search for the right cord when I need it. Camera and laptop accessories are similar. I keep only the items I genuinely use, like my favorite tripod memory cards or a few essential cables, and donate or sell the extras. By doing this, I create an organized area where I can access the tools I actually need without the distraction of unnecessary gadgets cluttering my shelves. The process may take time, but the feeling of walking into a clean, organized space is worth every effort. While we're decluttering small items, keys, foreign currency, and forgotten gadgets are next. They may seem minor, but letting them go makes a big difference in daily organization. I used to hold on to old keys thinking maybe I'll need it someday, but in reality, they just filled drawers and added unnecessary stress. Now I sort through them regularly and discard any keys that no longer have a purpose. It's liberating to finally let go of items that have no practical use. Foreign currency is another category that tends to accumulate. I found coins and bills from past trips tucked away in jars and drawers, never to be used again. Instead of letting them gather dust, I exchanged them for current currency. This simple action not only frees up space, but also makes me feel organized and financially aware. Exercise equipment and outdoor toys are trickier because they often hold memories or good intentions. I've kept old yoga mats, dumbbells, or roller skates thinking I'd use them someday, yet months go by without touching them. I decided that if I'm not actively using these items, it's best to donate or give them away. The same goes for old gadgets and toys. If they're no longer serving a purpose, gifting or donating them not only helps others, but also clears room for items I truly use. By letting go of these miscellaneous objects, my home feels lighter, more open, and easier to navigate. It's amazing how removing even small items can create a sense of calm and order, making daily life feel more intentional and stress-free. Travel items and tote bags are another area that silently takes up space. Clearing out unused bags and travel supplies can instantly free up closets and cabinets. Over the years, I've noticed how bags, bottles, and travel items tend to quietly pile up around the house. Old totes and backpacks are often left in closets even when we rarely use them. I used to keep every single one thinking maybe I'll need it someday, but in reality, most of them just collected dust. Now I make it a habit to donate or give away any bags that I haven't used in the past year. It's amazing how much space that frees up, and it feels good knowing someone else can make use of them. Empty or nearly empty bottles are another small but surprisingly persistent clutter. From old shampoo bottles to lotion containers, I realized that holding on to them, just in case, only takes up cabinet space. I now throw them away immediately, knowing I can always buy new ones if needed. The same goes for travel-sized toiletries. I keep only 1 or 2 sets that I actually use for trips, and the rest I donate or dispose of. It's a simple way to avoid clutter without losing convenience. By streamlining these items, I found my home feels more open and organized. A couple of practical travel items are sufficient, and everything else that isn't used regularly only adds to visual chaos. It's a small change, but it makes a big difference in keeping daily life stress-free and my living space feeling light and airy. Now let's move from travel items to our daily wardrobe. Clothes, shoes, and accessories can easily overrun closets, but thoughtful decluttering makes getting dressed a joy instead of a chore. Cheap hangers, for example, tend to break quickly and end up cluttering the closet. I make it a habit to throw them away or donate them if they are still usable. Old sheets and blankets that no longer serve a purpose can be donated to local shelters. Just a small action that can make a big difference for someone in need. Watches and accessories that I never wear were another category of clutter I had to tackle. I found that holding on to items just because they were gifts or felt valuable only added to my stress. Now I either donate or toss them, keeping only the ones I truly use. Clothes that no longer fit or fancy outfits I haven't worn in years also need to go. I either donate or sell them knowing that someone else might enjoy them more. Uncomfortable shoes, free shirts from promotions, and branded swag items also belong in this process. They take up space but rarely get worn. One of the most useful strategies I've learned is to sort clothes by how often I wear them by season and by comfort. This makes it easier to decide what truly belongs in my daily wardrobe and what is just taking up space. After clearing out the unnecessary items, my closet feels lighter, organized, and much more functional, which makes getting dressed a joy rather than a chore. Closets aren't the only place clutter hides. Expired makeup, skincare, and supplements can build up in bathrooms, and clearing them improves both space and safety. Old makeup and expired skincare products are a prime example. I used to keep lipsticks, foundations, and creams that were years old, thinking I might still use them. But over time, I realized that expired cosmetics can irritate the skin or even cause infections. Now I make it a point to go through my makeup stash regularly and throw away anything past its expiration date. The same goes for medicine and supplements. Pills that I no longer take, vitamins that have expired, or supplements that I forgot about can clutter drawers and cabinets. Beyond taking up space, keeping expired medicine can be dangerous. I've learned to check expiration dates every few months and responsibly dispose of anything that is no longer safe to use. This process not only clears space, but also brings peace of mind. I feel lighter knowing my bathroom and medicine cabinets contain only items that are safe and useful. It's a small habit, but one that prevents unnecessary stress and health risks while also keeping my home organized and tidy. By routinely decluttering these everyday essentials, the space feels fresh, clean, and easier to manage. Speaking of busy spaces, homes with children or pets often accumulate toys quickly. Letting go of old or unused toys creates room and teaches good habits. Living with children and pets means toys can quickly take over every corner of your home. Over the years, I've noticed that what starts as a fun collection of stuffed animals, blocks, or squeaky toys can become clutter that stresses both parents and little ones. My approach has been to go through their toys regularly, keeping only the ones they truly love and use. Items that are broken or missing pieces are either repaired, recycled, or donated. This not only frees up space, but also teaches children the value of sharing and taking care of their belongings. I've found it particularly helpful to involve my kids in the process. I encourage them to choose the toys they want to keep, which empowers them and makes decluttering less of a chore. They even get excited about donating toys to other children who might enjoy them. The same principle applies to pet toys. I sort through old chew toys, balls, and accessories, keeping only the ones in good condition and safe to use. Items that are worn out can either be replaced or repurposed creatively. By regularly going through toys and letting go of items that are no longer needed, I've noticed our living space feels lighter and more organized. It also sets a healthy example for children about being intentional with belongings. Over time, it becomes a natural habit rather than a stressful task, and the home feels more open, calm, and inviting for the whole family. Finally, let's tackle the heart of the home, the kitchen. Appliances, utensils, and duplicate items can quietly clutter counters and cabinets, but clearing them makes cooking and cleaning so much easier. Kitchens can quickly become cluttered with appliances, utensils, and containers we rarely use. Over the years, I've realized that many cooking tools or gadgets I once thought essential were simply taking up space. My approach has been to go through each item carefully and ask myself whether I really use it. Appliances or tools that haven't been touched in months often find a new home through donation or selling. This not only clears cabinets, but gives someone else a chance to put them to good use. Duplicates are another common issue in kitchens. I used to keep multiple sets of measuring cup spatulas or mixing bowls just in case, but having so many actually made cooking more cumbersome. I now keep only the ones I truly reach for daily and donate or sell the extras. Similarly, expired food-dried spices and empty containers are items that silently clutter shelves. I make it a habit to check expiration dates regularly and dispose of anything that is no longer safe or useful. Even plates, cups, mugs, and jars can accumulate over time. I keep only what I need for everyday meals and occasional guests. Containers without lids or mismatched pieces are either donated or discarded. Over time, this practice has transformed my kitchen into a lighter, more functional space where everything has its purpose. Cooking feels easier, cleaning is faster, and the kitchen simply feels more inviting. So those were the 14 categories covering 50 items that I've decluttered, creating a lighter, more organized home with plenty of breathing space. By letting go of what no longer serves us, every corner of the house feels more inviting and manageable. If you're looking to save time while decluttering effectively and reduce mental clutter, the tips I've shared today are a great starting point. Applying them can make your daily life feel simpler, calmer, and more intentional. I also have another video that you definitely shouldn't miss: 100 items you can declutter today fearlessly and guilt-free. It's packed with practical, life-changing decluttering ideas that will take your home organization to the next level. Watching it right after this one will give you even more tools to create a serene, uncluttered environment. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share these decluttering tips with friends and family because everyone deserves a home that feels open, peaceful, and easy to manage. By taking small steps to declutter, you can enjoy a more comfortable, stress-free living space every day.